and the house is silent. The clock ticks. The fridge hums. Your body is exhausted. Your eyes burn. Your limbs feel like lead. But your brain? Your brain is running a marathon. Replaying a conversation from last week. Drafting tomorrow's list. Circling the same worry for the 100th time. I have cared for patients over 60 for more than 2 decades. And what you just recognized in that description, I hear it every single week in my office. From sharp, capable people who built lives, raised families, ran businesses, and now lie awake feeling their own mind has turned against them. Some whisper it to me ashamed. I haven't slept properly in months. As if it's a personal failure. As if they're broken. You are not broken, and you are not alone. Now I need to correct something you've almost certainly been told, possibly even by a doctrine that I consider one of the most damaging myths in elder health care. As we get older, we just need less sleep. It is wrong. The research is clear. Adults over 60 need just as much sleep, 7 to 9 hours, as they did in their 40s. What changes is not the requirement. Two chemicals govern your sleep. Melatonin, your brain's darkness signal. After 60, your pineal gland produces significantly less of it, and what it does produce arrives later and fades faster. And cortisol, your alertness hormone. In a healthy cycle, cortisol drops sharply at night. In many of my older patients, it stays elevated, like a smoke alarm that won't switch off. This is not a character flaw. This is biochemistry, and biochemistry responds to the right inputs. You don't need heavy sleeping pills that leave you foggy and unsteady. You don't need expensive gadgets. You just need to speak the language of your nervous system. Today I'm going to give you 5 physiological triggers, not tips, triggers that directly influence your heart rate, your muscle tension, and your brain's transition into sleep. Technique 1 is a breathing method that activates your body's built minus and off switch in under 60 seconds. Technique 3 is a cognitive technique that stops the racing minus thought loop at its root. And Technique 5 is a method originally developed for you, as Navy pilots who needed to fall asleep under extreme stress in under 2 minutes. If it works in a cockpit, I promise you it will work in your bedroom. Turn off the lights. Get comfortable. Let's reclaim your nights. Technique 1, the 4-7-8 breath. Your nervous system's off switch. When you can't sleep, your nervous system is in fight minus or minus flight. You cannot willpower your way out of this. The brain doesn't respond to commands, but it does respond to breath. When you deliberately make your exhale longer than your inhale, you stimulate the vagus nerve. This activates the parasympathetic system, rest and digest. Heart rate slows. The brain receives a chemical signal: we are safe. Stand down. Here's how. Place your tongue against the ridge just behind your upper front teeth. Exhale fully through your mouth with a soft whoosh. Then inhale through your nose for 4. Hold for 7. Exhale through your mouth for 8. Let's do one together right now. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 3 for 5, 6, 7. Exhale 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For full cycles is all you need. By the 4th exhale, your heart rate will have measurably slowed. Patients tell me they feel the shift by the 2nd cycle, a sudden heaviness, like a knot being untied. If you wake at 3, do not reach for your phone. Do not look at the clock. Go straight into the breathing. If this video is giving you tools you've genuinely been looking for, please click subscribe and save this video now. I'll explain exactly why saving matters before we finish, but for now, let's keep going. Technique 2, progressive muscle relaxation. Releasing the tension you don't know you're carrying. This is for patients who say, I'm exhausted, but I just can't get comfortable. Even when you genuinely want to sleep, you're often holding unconscious tension in your jaw, your shoulders, your legs. You don't feel it consciously, but your nervous system does. The principle is simple: you cannot relax a muscle you don't know is tense. So we create the tension deliberately, then release it. Start at your feet. Curl your toes hard. Tighten your calves. Hold. And release. Let your feet fall open. Move to your thighs. Squeeze. Press your knees together. Tighten your buttocks. Hold. And release. Your legs should feel like worms and sinking into the mattress. Your hands now. Make tight fists. Hold. And release. Your shoulders. This is where I see the most stored tension in my patients, without exception. Pull them up toward your ears. Hold. And drop. Notice the space that opens between your neck and the pillow. Finally, your face. Squeeze your eyes shut. Clench your jaw. The tightest expression you can make. Hold. And let it all go. Jaw loose. Forehead smooth. Tongue resting on the floor of your mouth. A fully relaxed muscle cannot maintain the nervous system activation that keeps you awake. You are using the body to quiet the brain. Technique 3, cognitive shuffling. Interrupting the racing mind. The most underestimated cause of sleep disruption I see isn't pain. It isn't temperature. It's the racing mind. You lie down and your brain starts its greatest hits of worry. The unpaid bill. The conversation that went wrong. The appointment next week. You cannot tell your brain to stop thinking. The command itself is a thought and it makes it worse. What you need is redirection. Something so structurally random that the worry loop has nothing to grip. This is called cognitive shuffling, developed by sleep researcher Drive. Luke Bedoin. You're artificially simulating the fragmented, illogical imagery the mind produces naturally as it drifts towards sleep, signaling to your brain you're no longer planning. We must be falling asleep. Choose a simple, emotionally neutral word. Let's use garden. For G, picture a goose walking across a lawn. A glass of water catching the light. A glove left on a park bench. A guitar leaning against a wall. For an apple on a white plate. An anchor dropped into dark water. an armchair by a window, for a rabbit, a ribbon, rain on a skylight. You won't finish the word. I have never had a patient report finishing the word. By the third or fourth letter, the logical mind has disengaged. The worry loop is broken. If you wake at 3 and with a specific anxiety spinning, try the word quiet. Q minus U minus I minus I minus C minus T. I'd be very surprised if you reach the letter I. Technique for the worry dump. Closing the open tabs. Think of your brain at bedtime like a computer with 40-7 browser tabs open. It cannot shut down cleanly because it's trying to hold everything in active memory so nothing gets lost overnight. Your brain does the same thing and it will surface those worries repeatedly through the night, thinking it's helping you. It is not. The solution is to give your brain explicit permission to let go. Keep a small notebook by your evening chair. About 30 minutes before bed, sit down and write everything that's occupying your mind into columns. Column 1, what I'm worried about. Column 2, the very next action I'll take. Worry, I haven't heard back from the pharmacist. Next step, call at 9 tomorrow morning. Worry, I'm anxious about my appointment next week. Next step, write 2 specific questions to ask, so I feel prepared going in. The moment you write down a concrete next step, you give your subconscious the signal it's been waiting for. This is handled. We don't need to hold this overnight, and critically write it by hand, not on your phone. The physical act of writing transfers the burden from your mind to the page. Close the notebook. Say it out loud if you like. The office is closed for the night. Technique 5, the military method. Built for cockpits. Perfect for your bedroom. This technique was developed by the U.S. Navy pre-flight program to help combat pilots fall asleep in under 2 minutes under high noise, physical discomfort, and extreme psychological stress. If it works there, it works anywhere. Now you'll notice that steps 1 through 3 look familiar. That's intentional. They borrow the physical relaxation you've already practiced. What makes the military method different and significantly more powerful is step 4. Step 1, relax the face completely. Not just the jaw and brow, but the small muscles around your eyes, inside your mouth, your tongue. A slack face sends a Doran-Gouliot signal through the vagal system to the rest of the body. Step 2, drop your shoulders as far as they'll go. Arms at your sides, palms open and upward. Step 3, 1, slow exhale, release the chest. Then let your legs go, thighs, calves, feet heavy and shapeless. Step 4, and this is where the military method becomes its own thing entirely. You need to hold your mind empty for 10 seconds. Note cone. The program offers two specific images to anchor your attention. Image A, you are lying in a canoe on a perfectly still lake. Above you, nothing but open blue sky. No clouds. No movement. Just the blue. Image B, you are lying in a black velvet hammock in a completely dark room. Focus on the texture of the darkness itself. If a thought enters in it, well, don't fight it. Simply repeat internally, don't think, don't think, don't think, for 10 seconds. It sounds almost absurd, but that repetition occupies just enough of your verbal processing center to prevent other thoughts from fully forming. It creates a wall. Give this 2 to 3 weeks before you judge it. Once it becomes habit, patients describe it as close to a reliable on-minus switch for sleep. That is not a phrase I use lightly. Sleep is not a luxury. In my years of practice, I have seen what untreated sleep disruption does to cognition, to cardiovascular health, to the quiet erosion of mood and quality of life. And I have also seen what happens when patients find the right tools. The change is real, and faster than most people expect. Your body has not forgotten how to sleep. It is waiting for the right signals. Save this video right now, not for my benefit, for yours. I'm 2 weeks from now and need to come back to the breathing with a shuffle or the military method. I want this on your nightstand ready in the dark. Sleep well. You have earned it.